Hello, and welcome to Global Wellness for All podcasts. My name is Laleh Hancock, and I'm going to be your host every week, every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Lisbon time, as we do this journey and adventure of wellness in all parts of our lives. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Global Wellness for All podcast. My name is Laleh Hancock, and I am your host. And today I have a very, very special friend. My friend Dalbir Chana is joining us from Dubai. And hello, beautiful. Welcome.
Hello, how are you? I am so excited. You can see oh my God.
Well, the people that are going to be watching either on YouTube or elsewhere will see you. Otherwise, everyone's listening to you. And I'm sure they could even perceive that energy of your smile through the wavelengths of their podcast. But today, we wanted to get together because you're a connector, and we're going to talk more about what that is. And we want to talk about the misidentified connector. Yes, I cannot even wait. So before we go too far, can you just share a little bit about you and kind of like your journey of what brought you here today? And that way the listeners and the viewers get to actually know more about you.
Sure. I would be so happy. So as mentioned before, I am Dalbir Chana. I am originally from Tanzania.
Oh.
I call originally because my parents were born and brought up there. I am born and brought up there. And like 2 generations are born and brought up there. Yes, I'm an Indian, but that's my home country. So that's where I'm born and brought up. And then I moved to the UK. And from there, I think it's from there where my journey with healing started. I was married early, and then when you start working and all of that, I started into properties, and I found a book in one of the bookshops, which was a Feng Shui book, 10 minutes Feng Shui. And that's how my journey started into this beautiful world that we call healing, energy healing, and whatever, many words that come up. And reading that 10-minute tips, I would make my home.
Oh.
Put the here in this color, they would say put some terracotta here and blue over there. And I found myself doing that, as well as only staying in that house for 1 year.
You and I may have more in common than I realized before this.
2 years passed away, second home, third home. And there I go with the anger with my husband. We keep moving. What's going on? We keep moving. You just don't settle. It went on and on until I moved to Dubai 13 years ago. And I came here and I said to him, you know what? We're not moving anymore. And he says to me, why? I said, I was just not moving anymore. So the way I had done the Feng Shui to this house, only through this one book, the 10-minute Feng Shui book, did keep me there for a long time. But why do I want to talk about Feng Shui is that it's when I come into healing, all that I was doing, I was already a humanoid. This is where I wanted to get to, that I was already a humanoid. Things were shifting and changing, and it was going to fall in place for me. So,
okay, wait. I have to stop you because you just brought up a term like everyone listening would know what that is, and most of them may not. So give us a minute of like, what is a humanoid?
Humanoid is it's where we keep judging ourselves. We keep going into the wrongness ourselves. And we are able to do 10, 20 things at the same time.
Yeah.
We are different from humans. Humans have a form and structure. They want to do it in a certain way. They don't judge themselves. But when you've come into this, especially the way I see it is that when we've come into a spiritual journey or a healing journey, we are the humanoids who want to create not just one thing, but 10, 20, 30 things in our life. And we just want to keep going because nothing is impossible to us. Everything is possible. And that's where I want to get to, is everything is possible. All the time, everything is possible. And that's where Access Consciousness comes in, that if you use the questions, you be the possibilities as well.
Yeah.
So let me move forward from there. I was also very depressed when I came to Dubai. Full anxiety, depression, kids are gone to school, mommy, what should mommy do, and this, that, and the other. And then came healing in my life because I didn't want to be in hospital. I didn't want to have those injections. And healing started coming in my life. I walked out of the house and I met one mom and she says, what's wrong with you? You look really down. I said, yeah, I'm a bit down at the moment. She says, here's The Secret. I read that. Then she said, and I met another woman. Here's a Reiki class, go to there. I kept going 3 years from one modality to the other. And for some reason, I was always choosing to learn them and not do a session with them. Then after 3 years of somebody telling me, Access Consciousness, ta-da! Why did you do Access Bars? And I was like, of course, that's the next one on the line. Then came Access Bars, Foundation, and Facelift. 6 days of change. Oh my God. My whole life changed. For the mummy that I was, I only knew about the kids and cooking and looking after my home. Nothing else was like, I can't do it. Is when I completely shifted from that energy to, oh my God, this energy that I am today. So this is where I wanted to get to, that Access Consciousness. Thank you for all the tools, Gary and Dane. I am so grateful for them, for all these tools. Amazing.
Wonderful. Well, you said a lot of different things here. I think one of the key aspects is that to keep asking questions, there were those moments of difficulty in your life and, you were open to receiving from others. Someone said, here's a book. Someone said, here's a movie. Here's this class. Like, you were seeking for something different. And, that's that piece of it that you mentioned briefly earlier about being a humanoid. For me, let me give it a little more information, because if people were listening earlier, if you're the kind of person that can do the same thing every single day, in and out, it's just still fun for you to do the same thing, you're a certain kind of person in the world. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's amazing. And then if you're the kind of person who normally says, I don't do the same thing all the time, and you go into wrongness of you, it's not about making you wrong. It's that you're not the same as the people who would enjoy the same thing all the time. So a humanoid is more of someone, like you described earlier, who is constantly wanting to create, constantly wanting change, constantly wanting to say, hey, you know what, there's a problem here. Okay, not just let's be part of the problem, but like, what can we create that can contribute to this situation, and you're always trying to make the world better. So, a lot of times we make ourselves wrong because we are so different. We're so looking that we don't fit in to the people. Like, I remember, for me, I've had just an interesting journey of life. I studied pre-med. I did everything medical. I have 12 years of healthcare experience because I was going to become a doctor, a pediatrician. And then right before I went to medical school, I fell in love, I wanted to get married, take a year off. And I realized the style of practicing medicine at that time wasn't what I was looking for. You know, I didn't want to just say, hey, thank you so much for coming in. Let me give you some prescription of a pill that's going to solve all your problems. And if it's a problem that doesn't work, you'll come back, see me tomorrow. Yeah, that wasn't the crazy me. So I found instead, you know, I became an executive in business, and I've built a lot of businesses around the world, actually still building, because that's the craziness in me. I love creating every day. But it is this place of there is no right or wrong, but just knowing some people you may have worked with, may have been your boss, may have been your mom or whatever. You keep going into wrongness, but you're just different.
We're very different.
You know? So if you guys want to learn more, you can also go to accessconsciousness.com. There's facilitators all around the world who can contribute with lots of different kinds of classes and, you know, get-togethers and sessions and things of that sort. So I want to come to our topic though today, the misidentified connector. Because I know you know everyone and you connect with everyone. And then when I had asked you, hey, you want to be on the podcast? You're like, I stay away from these things usually. So, so on that note, tell us a little bit more about this misidentified connector.
I think after doing access classes and reading Simone's Joy of Business, and I read about the connector, the actualizer, and the mover, I was like, who am I? You know, and that's when it was like, oh, I'm a connector. So why misidentified is like people out there think Dalbir's got a large group on WhatsApp. You know, she's probably got 200 people on there, or 300 or 400. But guess what? There is no WhatsApp group there. It's me, just everybody knows me. And I love connecting. I love hosting. I just love going and meeting new people. And yeah, it just comes. And even if in a conversation, I don't know I don't know them personally, the energy will show up and it'll be like, okay, this one. So when we were speaking a few weeks ago, it was like, okay, I don't know anything about it. We were talking about the expo, if you remember.
Yeah.
Anything about it, but I can find out.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing the questions. Where can I go? Where can I be? You know, and universe, show me this person right in front of me. Every time I would go out, even if it was just to the mall, I was like, show me. And this is where exactly this misidentified connector comes in, is me being the question of what you required. I ended up staying in a hotel just by chance. We had no plans to go and stay in a hotel with family. And I was staying in that hotel, and I kept pinged to say, oh, can you, we are having a networking event. Can you come? And I knew this lady 4 years ago. We didn't connect before. And she says, she sent me the map, the link, Google Map. And as I tap on the Google Map, it says to me, you are already there.
I love it.
Networking event was in the hotel. So being in the question, being the energy of the question has really, I mean, I'm so grateful for this. It takes me where I require to be and connect with people. Otherwise, people, I mean, everybody messages me and says, oh, can you host this class? Or can this happen? And I'm like, I really love it. I'm thinking, oh my God, they think I've got a big group. But no, it's being in the question that takes me to the right places at the right time. And yeah, and being in the question, I was on a call when I started 6 years ago with Access Consciousness. After a few months, I think about 6 months up in Access, I was on a call with Anne Maxwell for my son. I wanted to do some parenting stuff at that time. And I said to her, I said, you know what else is possible is not working for me. And she was like, okay, let's break this down. She says, what else is possible? Is it a sentence with a question mark? Or are you being the energy of what else is possible? Oh my God, I still remember those words. I can hear them in my ears. She said to me, when she said this to me, is like, am I being the question or the sentence with a question mark? So that's, since that day onwards, I always ask myself, just in case, there is something is like, okay, this is taking too long. Am I being a sentence with a question mark? Yeah, okay, let's change it. What energy do I require to be here? Universe, what do you show me? So being in the question has really, really changed my life and made me this connector that I truly am now.
I love it. I love it. It's interesting because when we originally met and we were going to be on the podcast together, there was a whole other energy of conversation we were going to have. We were going to talk about, I don't even remember. It was like being needless as a lady, and so often we think of ourselves as, I'm a woman, I'm a man, but it's not about the sexuality difference, but it's about the willingness to be the energy of a lady. And so, and how much when you are asking the question, you are including that energy of, do you want to talk about it? Like maybe that's something you can share, because I know you love this magical book called The Lady by Gary Douglas. And it's one of my favorites too, by the way. So maybe you can share it with others.
Yeah. So, when you start off with all the modalities and you come and you're healing yourself and all that, desperation, need, control is one of the things that we don't realize we're doing it. I mean, the control of my kitchen, that this is the menu that gets cooked today. This is the vegetables that used today. This is how, when I started off, I was really like, okay, where am I going to do? So I break down all the questions to, so where am I doing control here? Body, show me. Where is the control here? Where am I being needy? Where was I being desperate? And it's when I sort of asked those questions and I was able to get to where I am today, is where there is no need. There is that it's that needless energy. We don't need anything. We're not desperate for anything. What if we were being the light energy and the lady energy of Gary says, the kind, the caring, the nurturing, the creative, the possibility, the innovative lady energy we truly be. And with needless as well, again, because I've had so many sessions with many facilitators. Once I had a session, and that session has really made me realize what being needless is where she asked me, she said, okay, so if you didn't have money for 1 month, can you survive? Are you able to eat? Are you able to sleep in a particular home? Are you able to dress up and have a little bit of fun, at least get up in the morning and get you? I was like, of course I can. Then we went to the second month. Can you do it for 2 months? Can you do it for 6 months? Can you do it for 1 year? Right? And we went on and on for 10 years. And that's where she's like, okay, so you don't need anything. It's when, again, breaking every question down to 3 words, the energy of 3 words. What is control? When we do that, then we get to that point where the lightness energy and the creative energy starts to flow.
It's interesting because like all of these words you use, control, controlling, need, needy, they're very different if you tap into their energy. It makes a difference, because be more aware of the words that you're speaking, because so often we don't even realize our points of views, our restrictions, our limitations are actually coming out of our mouth as we say the words. but we're not, it's just, we've ignored them. Need by itself has no problem, you know, but more from when you do it from curiosity, when you do it from play, you know, like you're like, ooh, I need that. I need that. Yeah, like, what would it be like to have that in my life? You know, what would it be like to add that to my life? That's the spirit.
Oh, definitely do that to my diamonds.
Oh, yes, for sure with jewelry, because you know I'm a jewelry nut. So yes, for sure, do that with jewelry. But you may want to do it with other parts of your life and business too. But then there's this other side of it when your frequency changes and now it becomes, I'm needy, I'm missing something, I lack it, and therefore I have to have it. Because that neediness turns to greediness, you know, but it's not what will create. Where when you do it from the question, really being the question of like, what would it be like to have that diamond ring on my finger, you know, or whatever you're asking for, you know, even if you want to ask, what would it be like to have more ease?
Yeah.
What would it be like to have more fun in my life? What would it be like to have, you know, my business grow? Like truly being in the question continuously. And doing it from that space of curiosity is when you become the magnet. You ask for something and now you're going to pull it into your life. So you tug it into your life, where when you're needy, your energy changes. You're no longer the pull and the tug. You become the force and the energy push. You know, and then you keep pushing it away and you're like, where did it go? Well, you keep pushing it away because you're doing it from a place of desperation instead of a place of, hey, it would be fun to have this.
Exactly. Amazing. Amazing the way you explained that too. Amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
How does it get even better? Yeah. And, you know, I want to talk more about the connector. So in Joy of Business, we talk a lot about what our business requires. There's energies our business requires to be able to grow. But it's not just your business, it's your life, it's different parts, you know, it's not just the business of your business, it's the business of your life. So I want to talk a little bit. So we have creators. Creators are the, you know, the ones that were maybe called the daydreamers, you know, the ones who are like tapping into the energies of the future and they come up with ideas and they want to bring something into life. And a creator may have 2,000 ideas in just, you know, 1 hour. So write them down. If you're a creator, write them down and ask when is time to physically actualize them, because you will perceive them today, but it doesn't mean it really is ready today. It's not ripe yet to be picked from the tree, you know? And then you have your movers. You have people who can take the idea that just got created and they can actually have the energy to bring it to fruition. So they're able to tap into the energy of what it is now, but also ask questions of who do we need to add to this? Where do we need to go? What, you know, what does the future require for us to put into place today so that this can thrive, you know, can actually be successful? And then you have the connectors. You got the connectors who love hearing there's an idea and wanting to tell the whole world about it. And they don't care if they're in a shopping mall or at a hotel. They're like, where do I go? Who do I need to talk to? And so, yeah, by the way, I always thought I was a connector my whole life, but then I realized I'm actually a foundationalist, which is the creator, the mover, and the connector.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Yeah. So you guys, the one that you think you're the worst at, you may want to ask more questions, but it may be that you have preferences, you know, and the one that you do so easily that you assume everyone else does. Yep. That's usually the one that you know, might have more of a dominant energy of.
Exactly. Yes, no, that's true. That's true. I think I used to judge myself that I'm not a mover. And then went through the judgment process, and it's yes, I can, I can move it. Yes, we can bring it to fruition. And why, how many more questions can I ask, and be the questions, the energy space and the consciousness to get things to come to fruition. So definitely, I really agree with that with you.
Yeah.
That,
And if you guys want to know more, there's actually a book called Joy of Business. It's translated in 14 or 17 languages. It's one of my favorites. I'm actually a facilitator of Joy of Business, and I love it. I mean, there's this, because it's not just about the business that you think brings you money and food and all of that. It truly is about you, your body, the business of your life, and ways that you can, whatever brings you joy, whatever gets you excited, enthusiastic, it can also bring you money and bring you different kinds of possibilities that you haven't considered. So, if you haven't read the book, I definitely recommend it.
You do book club as well, aren't you? Weekly book club?
Yeah, currently we have a free book club where we have different Joy of Business facilitators around the world who are talking about the topics of each of the chapters. And we will have it in here, the link to buy the book, as well as the link to the book club. And the book club, you don't have to be there in person if you don't want to. There's replays. And even if the book club has finished, you can still sign up and automatically receive the replays of all the previous weeks. And it's super awesome. So you get to have a video and audio. Yeah, it's super cool. And that one's translated too in different languages. So it's available in, I think, 5 or 6 languages as well.
Yeah, amazing. So I just want to do also, thank you, Laleh, for the energy that you be and the contribution that you be is amazing. So I am inviting you. You are already invited to Dubai for a few classes, and whoever's hearing here, Laleh is coming middle of November, and she's going to do many classes in Dubai. And whoever's listening, please, you are most welcome to come. There is no restrictions to come to Dubai. Only need a PCR and bring a mask, and that's what's required. Everything is open here. And do you want to talk about what classes you're doing here in Laleh?
Wow, yeah, we can definitely talk about it, and we'll have it in the show notes as well if anyone wants to reference it. So one of the things that I facilitate is called Right Voice for You. And so often we don't realize that, we gave up our voice a long time ago. And some of you haven't, some of you have. But even for me, I'm a very social person, a connector, I meet everyone. And when I started to actually take these classes, I realized like having your voice in the world, your own world, being able to ask people for things, being able to speak at public speaking. It might be to have a request in your relationship that you can't talk about, or communicate with your children, like it's just having your voice is just so much greater. And it also expands the voice of your business as well.
Definitely. I mean, with the right voice for you, the way I see this class is, everywhere we've been hiding, it brings you out of those past lives of hiding, and you want to be seen, you want to be heard and acknowledged and receiving. It's so important that when you stand on this, it really encourages you, this class. And when I took this class, it was amazing, where I stood on stage and I didn't have to say anything, but just receiving everybody looking at me was so expansive. Just being in the energy of just receiving how they are looking at me and acknowledging me, how great I am. And all that judgment, and I mean, it melts my world. It was melting my world.
Wow, it really is. I mean, this class, just like you just described it, I'm not even going to say any more words. So if you would like to try it, we're going to do an introduction to Right Voice for You before we do some fun things with some horses that we'll talk about more later. But yeah, we have a 2-day class called Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider. And I didn't even know in this lifetime, I hadn't been exposed to horses except once in my college life. And I got to learn more and more about horses and all the ways they facilitate us. They teach us so much by their behavior. They're showing you what you're being, what you're not being, and to step up. And it is just an adventure of beyond words. And so grateful to be a facilitator of Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider as well. And also do leadership with horses with different businesses and others. So like horses, you don't have to even know anything about a horse. Even if you're afraid of horse, you'll realize in these 2 days that all of that gets melted away. But you learn more about you.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah. This is going to be my first time with Arabian horses. So I am like so excited about that.
Oh. I perceive it was your ask that actually also made me change my home and come near horses.
Well, you know, I tend to be magical that way. I'm like, what would it be like to have that? And then things open up around me, you know?
And when I moved, I mean, I had no intention, like I didn't even look at, there was a polo club here. And I did go after 4 weeks to have a look. Oh, I got this in my, and I went there twice. And that's when after a month you messaged to say, come on, let's do this. So you are very magical, but you already
we might be aware of something here, you know. Yeah. And then I'm also going to be facilitating a class called Conscious Vagina, which is one of the programs that I have in Access Consciousness, and truly including all parts of your body and not excluding it, and the energy and truly the power that's there for you and confidence, you know. This class is not just for women, it includes men. Men are welcome. We actually have we have translators that are men who are going to be translating this class. So like, I just wonder, when we are not judging any part of ourselves or our body, what else is possible, you know?
Yeah. Laleh, I want you to talk about vagina and earth, the energy of earth.
Yeah.
Contribution required at that time.
Well, you know, I don't want to make any part of it significant. However, you know, our bodies are part of the earth.
Yeah.
You know, even your hair is stardust. Did you know that? And
Really?
so, yeah. So when we allow us to actually include our vagina, and for men, it could be that it's your penis, you know, when we're allowing our sexual organs to actually be part of us instead of that separation, meaning you're not judging it anymore and you're including it in your life, what ends up happening is that there is this communion with the earth that we're willing to receive so differently, you know? And the power that's there, the ease that things transform in your life, you know, every time I facilitate this class, I get people who email me thanking me for the class and how much their whole life changed. You know, their business is growing. It's because they're no longer cutting off pieces of them. It has nothing to do with anyone else. And, you know, of course, the more you include you in your body and your life, the more other things can be fun and playful too, is including the bedroom, you know, can't exclude the bedroom here, or anywhere else, you know. Yeah, so there's that. And then we're also going to do a Leaders of Tomorrow program, which is a 3-day class. And it's really about you becoming the leader of your life. We don't realize how all day long, how much we make it about everyone else. And you start to exclude you instead of include you. And day number 2 is about financial awareness and creating more. No matter what your finances are today, starting point there, but where else can it go? And then day number 3 is about being the catalyst of change, where you get to actualize, bring to life what it is you're asking for, whether it was those diamond rings you're talking about, or it's a new business, or it's a relationship, or it's, having whatever it is that you'd like to empower you or others with. You leave the class already starting the motion. So it's not like, here I am, let me learn the tools, and then one day when I have time, I'm going to put it to work. No, it's about what can you actually be today that makes you the leader of today and the leader of what's required in the future.
Beautiful. I love the way you said it. Leaders of the future. Amazing. Amazing. And we're going to, we use the tools from day one and we be that. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. I am so excited to welcome you and spend time with you finally.
Oh, I know. No more Zoom. Well, actually, all these classes except the horses are going to be also available on Zoom. So if you'd like to join us from anywhere around the world, the horses, you have to be there. You've got to bring your body to Dubai. So, or catch us in one of our other Conscious Horse, Conscious Rider classes.
We've got many, many horses. Everybody is welcome. And, they can always contact us for more details. But Thank you so much for
coming. Thank you. And thank you so much for today and truly this misidentified connector. And where can people find you and, be able to connect with you more?
Okay, so I'm on the Access Consciousness website. And my Insta page is Chana Dalbir. My surname comes first and then my name. And on Facebook, I'm Dalbir Chana on Facebook. And that's where they can find me. I also do I'm a certified facilitator, and I do the foundation classes, Access Bars classes, and Facelift, and all the body process classes. So yes, they can find me on Facebook, Insta, and the Access Consciousness website in Dubai.
Wonderful. And they will also be able to have it in the show notes. So anyone who would like more information, you don't need to write it all down. It'll be there and you can just click and get to it with total ease. Well, thank you so much, darling, for being here and being the amazing being that you are, and also Conector. And what else is truly possible we haven't considered yet.
Thank you, Laleh. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you all for listening or watching today or in the future. We're super grateful. Please remember, we want to spread the seeds of this out to the world. So if you know anyone that could benefit from this, feel free to share it. We are all over social media. You can just do a little click and share. And we look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you again, and hope you guys have a fantastic week. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you for being here with us, whether you were listening or watching. We are so grateful for you, and we need your help. We would love to spread the seeds of wellness all around the world. Will you assist us? You can subscribe below. You can subscribe in Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. We are everywhere. And we ask, would you be willing to actually spread this to others that you may know who can actually be contributed with the tools and resources to bring more wellness into their life and into their bodies?